It really is Croston tonight, isn't it?
It is. Now, earlier this year, we met Digby. You will remember Digby. He was to become Britain's first guide horse. You might remember that we showed him walking around shops in Blackburn, and it raised a few eyebrows at the time. But more importantly, Digby offered a unique form of assistance to our blind colleague, Salim Patel.
Salim was offered Digby because he was scared of dogs, but it was all dependent on the horse not growing too big. So when Digby did get too big, Salim had to look further afield. And now, as he explains, that has taken him across the Atlantic.
So this is American driving with the steering wheel on the left-hand side and a driver on the left-hand side and a guide horse in the back.
Don't do this at home.
Yeah, don't do this at home.
Except roaming around with a guide horse in the back is exactly what I'm planning on doing on the streets of Blackburn. Unfortunately though, it won't be with this horse.
Forward. Good boy.
Digby was going to be my guide horse because I'm scared of dogs. He grew too big though, so my search for the UK's first guide horse continued. And where better to go than where the concept began, the USA. This is Cali. She lives with Mona Romani and her family in Lansing, Michigan. Here we are, crossing a road. Good enough for a treat though. Perfect. Of course it was.
Perfect.
I felt as if I wasn't blind when I had her harness in my hand, and I was very disappointed to not be able to use Digby as my guide horse. He was a really good candidate, very well behaved, but he grew over the accepted size. Guide horses were introduced in America 20 years ago. Israel and Belgium followed suit, and now the UK is next in line.
No, she's fully trained. We're teaching him to work with her. She's my horse.
Cali has been a guide horse for a decade, so she's used to walking around shops. And I quickly got used to walking around with her too.
Do you hear her feet, Salim? That when you hear that, the way she's walking, you can tell she's happy.
Getting used to the interest though, that will take time.
Is it okay if we take a picture?
Yeah, sure.
But you've always got to be on your guard. Drop it and you could have a situation on your hands.
She wants the glazed donuts.
Cali, I found, like me, has a sweet tooth.
She's going for the donuts.
It is of course all part of the experience. An experience which I hope will come to fruition for me and many others.
Well, I'm very pleased to say Salim is here. Unfortunately, Cali isn't, or Digby, which is a shame, is it? Salim, thank you very much. Last time we spoke to you, it really looked like it was going ahead with Digby, but sadly not to be. He grew too big.
Yeah, so the universally accepted size for a guide horse is 30 inches or under.
Yeah.
When Digby was here in the studio for Northwest Tonight, he was 30 inches then, so we were hopeful that he doesn't grow.
He'd stop growing, yeah.
But he sadly did. And that's why he's no longer suitable to be a guide horse.
That must have been sad for you, though, because you must form an attachment, mustn't you?
Oh, we had a bond, of course,
Yeah.
and, you know, I was envisaging my future with Digby by my side, and, you know, when kind of it became difficult when we were having our training, you know, in supermarkets, in aisles, in lifts, it was just a bit too impractical, and that defeats the point of having an assistance horse. So, you know, I had to make that tough decision that Digby wouldn't be suitable for me.
How common are guide horses? We obviously haven't got one yet in the UK. Are there many in America?
Yeah, there's about 100 in America.
Right.
Israel has got guide horses as well, so has Belgium. So they are becoming more and more popular.
Given that it's quite hard to train one and obviously quite hard for you to find one as well, why don't you just have some help to try and get used to dogs so you're not scared of dogs?
It's something I've already tried. You know, I've got friends that have guide dogs, and when they're on their harness, they are really well behaved, and to some extent, I'm okay when they are on harness. But when they're not working, they're a pet, and they want to do what dogs do. You know,
And
come
they'd
up
be
to
with
you,
you, wouldn't
sniff
they,
you,
in the
and
house?
you know,
Yeah.
and it's that is what really causes me the anxiety.
Well, we're looking forward to whoever's the successor of Digby when he eventually arrives, working in the office with us. It's a fascinating story. Been in the papers as well, hasn't it? So, Salim, thanks very much indeed.
Good luck in finding, well, your perfect guide horse. Thank you.
Thank you.